Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Today is December 10th. There is officially 20 days, maybe 21 days left in this year. Holy shit, it has really flown by. It has really flown by. My name is jakegagain, joined alongside my co-host, Rodney Sorensen. Rodney?
GM, baby. What's up?
GM. We have a very, very exciting show.
Yeah.
Crypto markets are crashing. We're going to be talking about our strategy, what's going on. The amount of phone calls I've got in the past 24 hours saying, oh my God, this is going down. I'm like, yo, I was on the couch. I was like, I just flew in from Miami. I'm like, guys, like all I can say to you is we were at $64,000 30 days ago. We ran up above 100K. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But I'm sure that's what a lot of people are feeling, unless you're a real one in this space and you're probably getting ready to buy the dip if you haven't bought the dip yet. Rodney, we're also going to be doing a deep dive into Luigi Mangione,
yes,
Italiano.
I got a story for you guys.
The accused person, I think we're on YouTube. We got to be careful what we say, who was now charged with the murder of Brian Thomas. What was his name?
Yeah, the United Healthcare CEO. Yeah.
We got to do a deep dive.
Yeah.
And we also have to talk about how shitty Ocean's 12 was. We watched that last
night.
Dude,
it was good. That was
Ocean's
a great
11
movie.
is, I'm telling you, I watch movies once. I'm a one and done guy. I will watch Ocean's 11 with you again because it was that good. You're going to be like, there are levels to this shit. I haven't really checked the crypto markets today. I think we're down based off of our thumbnail.
Yeah,
should we pull it up real quick and give it a look?
Yeah, we're down today. Yeah, the markets keep bleeding. There's a reason for that. We'll get into that a little later. But yeah, markets are dumping right now. $95,000 Bitcoin.
This is so funny. Look at this. Is my screen pulled up?
Yeah.
Luigi trending on DEX scanners. 969% for this one and 9,000% for this one. Okay, Luigi. So it's just so funny to me. It really is when people say that a $95,000 Bitcoin is dumping and we should all fear, and a $3,500 ETH. Like ETH was at $3,200 a week ago. We're still up, right? Tether, at least Tether's holding strong, Rodney, at $1. Thank God. XRP down to $2.05. Oh no, what will we do, Rodney?
Oh no,
XRP was at 50 cents for 4 years.
Oh no,
it's at $2.
No.
It's 4x from its price a month ago. What should we do? Should we sell it? Should I dump?
Yeah,
you guys, if you're watching this, I'm kidding. Oh no, Rodney, Solana was at $20 in 2023.
$8. It went down to $8.
Yeah, it's done a 10x since then. Should we sell? But no, I think the reason why we're seeing a lot of panic is because, you know, we've been in this space since then and we've seen those prices. But a lot of these people that are buying right now that are, you know, like they bought in at a $99,000 Bitcoin. They bought in at a $260 Solana. They bought in at a $250 XRP. And the mistake that they're going to make is they put in, let's just say $5,000, $6,000, whatever it is. Now it's worth $3,000. They're going to sell because they don't want to lose it all.
Yeah.
We never give advice to anybody else, but this is part of the game. It's volatile. And if you've been watching our show for quite some time, you understand that this is expected. You should not be panicking at all if you purchase cryptocurrency, even if you purchase at $100,000 or $3,000 Bitcoin. This is part of the game. That's why you never put in all of your nest egg at once, right? You kind of dollar cost average in, which is what we talk about. We've been saying it on the show for quite some time that we expect the markets to pull back. Here's a pullback. I was saying I expected an $85,000 Bitcoin because anytime Bitcoin goes from 65K to 103K, you probably could expect a 20 or 30% pullback. So I don't know if the bleeding is over yet, but it is normal. It is expected. And this is why on red days, Rodney, what do?
Yeah, DCA, buy more.
Yep.
Calm the fuck down.
All go touch above. Grass.
Yeah, go touch grass. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, 70%, excuse me, 20% retracements are, you know, completely normal. 30%. We thought this crash would come earlier. And to be honest, you know, being selfish, I ain't mad at it, baby, because I'm trying to ape in at a lower price. And that's the mindset you guys should have. You know, if you're here from 2022, this ain't nothing, baby. You know, this ain't nothing. Obviously, 16,000 Bitcoin, $8 Solana, 50 cent, less than 50 cent XRP. And remember, XRP hit an all-time high of $3.80 in 2017. So, I mean, 2018. So it's been a tough ride for XRP holders, but it's part of the game. Lock in, have some diamond hands, have some conviction, double down.
Lock in with the boys. I think what we should do is go through a segment here because there's a lot of new people that are in the chat.
Yeah.
And we will give our personal strategy. And we should say this. Our legal team actually requires us to say this. You should not copy what we do. Some of the tokens that we talk about, we're long on, we're own on. Some of the tokens that we talk about, we're sponsored by. But we will give our strategy here and discuss, some of the tokens that we think are buys. For us personally, guys, we love you all. We love you. I mean, we do love them, right? All right, we love them.
Of course.
But we don't care what you guys do with your money. It's not up to us.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you what we do with our funds here. So back to the charts. Solana 207, BNB actually holding strong, 660. Dogecoin down to a $55 billion market cap, which is, I mean, that's a significant hit, right? In the past 24 hours, they lost $5 billion in market cap. That's a lot of money that's pulled out. Not a time to panic. Still, Cardano fell below $1, but like we've said, Cardano was at 30 cents for 6 years. It felt like, really 2 years. So it's still up, 200% since then. Tron 25 cents. So everything's taking hit. Avalanche 42 cents.
Jesus.
Uncoin down.
God.
Chainlink. I mean, everything's taking a hit. Sui. I mean, not big hits. And look at Pepe. Still up 16% on the week.
11 billion.
So from the top altcoins, Ronnie, let's just go through this. Let's talk about the top, let's just say 4 or 5 altcoins that I personally believe that the market might dip a little bit more. But if this was the bottom, which altcoins do you think are on a pretty juicy dip that you think are going to have a lot of potential? And we've seen new ones pop up recently, like HBAR, XLM. Tell me, like, maybe your top 5 from the top 25 that we went through that you would be like, if the market, if this was the bottom, which it might not be, these are ones that I would kind of dollar cost average into today.
So I'll start off with Ethereum because I think Ethereum's really undervalued right now, and I think it's going to have its run. And I think we started to see a little spark of that. So I'm going to go number 1, Ethereum. Let me tell you something. Sorry about taking out the Zen, but these ISOs, man, don't sleep on them because finally we have regulatory clarity, and that's so important. I know I talk about it so much, but a new chair of the SEC is a big deal for these ISOs. That could become a natural part of society, part of the banking system. You want to be bullish on those. I'll start off with Ethereum. I'll go to Sui next. Sui, holy crap! If you're not trading on Sui, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's a dream. I haven't had one transaction fail. I haven't had to adjust my slippage at all. It's lightning quick. You can do like 5 trades in literally like 10 seconds, probably less. It's crazy. I like Sui. It still hasn't experienced the top of a bull market yet. So I love Sui. Sui is going to be a big deal in my opinion. Sitting around $3 something cents right now. I think $30, $40 isn't out of the realm of possibility. Then I'm going to go with XRP. XRP, fantastic, right? Obviously, strong community. I like Stellar, similar to XRP and what they want to do. Cardano, I'm having a massive dump. I like me some Cardano. And I mean, you could say Quant, you could say HBAR is fantastic. Those are all fantastic top crypto projects that are safer. Nothing safe in the cryptocurrency space. Safer bets than maybe some speculative plays. So definitely look into those. And Uniswap token. I love Uniswap token. I always love the Uniswap token. And whatever issues they've had with the SEC so far, I think that may be going away.
I like those solid 5. And those were all in the top altcoins. For me, Avalanche, that's one that I think is very, very bullish. The cycle sitting at $43. XRP at $2. If you saw what happened the past month, that can happen again and again and again. I don't think a $10 XRP is out of the window of opportunity for XRP. Yeah. Now that's a very bullish case. That's kind of like us saying Bitcoin to 250,000 is saying XRP to $10. So I like Avalanche. I like XRP. You can like Cardano. HBAR is obviously doing good. XLM, Pepe. I mean, all of these are doing good and will continue to do good. And they're all on nice, juicy dips. Now, when we're saying nice, juicy dips, that doesn't mean that the dip is over. It could be over. This could be the bottom. Or we could see Bitcoin go down to 90,000, 85,000. Obviously, these altcoins will follow in as well. So for me, if I was buying altcoins today, which I might actually pick up some more Avalanche today and maybe add to my HBAR bags, I wouldn't, let's say I have 100% of my money to put in. I'll probably put in 20% today, 20% tomorrow, 20% the next day. If the markets recover, I'll hold that 40% to then put it again when it dips again, because everyone wants to think that in a bull market, we go straight up to the top. It is not what happens. We go up, we go down, we go higher, we go lower, we go higher. Something crazy in the crypto space happens. We dip all the way down, we go way higher. It's just the natural ebbs and flows of the cryptocurrency markets. And Ronnie, if there's one word I have to talk about today, it's volatility. The crypto markets are extremely volatile.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not for the faint of heart. The thing is, like, we see all these crazy stories in crypto about people getting rich overnight, Jake. And it seems like those stories are a dime a dozen, but you don't hear about the millions of stories of people getting absolutely wrecked. And really the people I've known in this space who have like won, think long-term. And I know it's a crazy space and I know it's volatile, but you got to think long-term in crypto and understand that if you're new, which if you thought 2021 brought a lot of mass adoption, these next couple of years are going to bring so much more mass adoption. You're going to get a lot of people into the space that have never experienced that sort of volatility. And what they do is they'll ape money that they need for like everyday things. And I'm not trying to make fun of people, but it's just, understanding what's going on. Like, say you get a $5,000 check for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe financial aid, maybe whatever, maybe tax return, and you're investing that $5,000. Well, you may need that to pay rent, and you may need that to pay your card or whatever your bills are. And people will put money they need for everyday expenses into crypto, thinking it's going to 100x next week, not knowing that 100x could take years. Maybe it takes a week, most likely not. And they'll pull it out at a loss and then miss out on all the gains. We've seen a lot of people miss out on life-changing gains because they had to pull too early, not because, well, obviously it's a bad decision, but they needed that money right away. So, the whole cliche of never invest any more than you could afford to lose is a cliche because it's so true. Because if you can't hodl something, then, sometimes it won't work out for you. So understand that crypto's volatile and just have some patience.
Yeah, I think that we always talk about dollar cost average again. It's okay to dollar cost average out as well. If you're up big on a token or a project, like let's just say Ethereum, you got in at $1,000 and it hit $4,000, which it did recently, and your bag is worth $100,000, right? It's okay to pull $10,000 out or $15,000 out, convert that into USDC while it's running up. That way, when your bag of 100K turns into 80K, like it probably did today, you're not freaking out. So I like dollar cost average again, dollar cost averaging out. And that was a quick update on the cryptocurrency markets. We should take a look at the meme coins as well.
Yeah.
Just to see what's going on here.
Because meme coins, they're highly explosive. They love to outpace the markets when it pumps. Same thing happens when they dump. They outpace the markets when they dump. So you're going to see a lot of blood. Yeah.
Yeah. SHIB still holding strong around 15 billion. Pepe around 10 billion. Dog with Hat and Bonk, they both were up above 3.5 billion. Now they're at 2.6 and 2.5 billion respectfully. Floki, $2 billion market cap. Bread on Base still holding strong. I know it went up to a $2.2 billion market cap, but Bread on Base was at a $600 million market cap about a month ago. So still holding strong at 1.5 billion. Mogcoin up 25% on the week after that Coinbase listing.
Yeah.
1.2 billion. How about baby Dogecoin?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Baby Dogecoin looking good. OG for 2021.
Million. It was at 100 million for a long time.
Yeah.
First Near on Ethereum, 619 million. Turbo is at 582. Let's see what else we have here. SPX is at 610. Snex still holding strong at 500 million. GigaChad 500 million. And just Chill Guy down to $300 million market cap, while Ponke is at 239 million. So for me personally, altcoins are not necessarily at a big enough dip for me to buy, but the meme coins definitely are. Like Ponke, I might add to my Ponke bag.
Oh yeah.
Even Mog at 1.2 billion. I know it's not really on a massive dip, and if the markets do continue to dip, we could probably expect to see Mog pull back a little bit. But I think that's a $10 token as well. Bread on Base. We went through a lot of them. So meme coins are taking a hit. Even with Dog with Hat or Bonk, like if you are bullish on those projects, Dog with Hat and Bonk at 2.5 billion, that's a buy for me. I think these projects could reach 25 billion at the peak of the bull run.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing some crazy price predictions for meme coins. And like I said, they're explosive on the way up too. So even though we'll see like percentage-wise minimal gains, I mean, not minimal, but maybe 2-3x for like Bitcoin and some of these top altcoins, maybe 10x is the cap for some of these top altcoins. Meme coins are going to absolutely outpace them because that's the nature of the game with meme coins. Crazy up, crazy down.
Yep. Part of the game. And shout out to my guy, Alonso Macias.
Hey, Alonso.
In that new Hudson cap. These caps are sick, bro. Shout out to Hudson. I'll post them on my Instagram later, guys, if you want these. Really, really high quality material. I mean, like probably the best hat that I wear, and I have a lot of hats, as you guys know. A lot of hats, a lot of good hats, right? and shout out to my guy Zoe. He actually just sent me the Brett vlog.
Oh, is that Zoe?
We're gonna be posting. That's Zoe.
What's up, Zoe?
Yeah, he sent me the Brett vlog that we're gonna be posting.
Nice.
Later today. It's super, super sick. So, can we get into the news? Can we start with Luigi? This is what all the
you want to start with Luigi? Okay.
I think we start with Luigi, bro. Because for me, I don't know why, but something smells fishy. I'll give my thoughts on it afterwards.
Yeah.
And can I give a shout out to my mom real quick? She just came in and she didn't interrupt the stream.
Mama
She just pushed 2 Zin cans under the door for me. What a nice Jewish mother, huh?
Love Mama G. Absolute GOAT. Gets it done. You know what I mean? Incredible woman. So shout out Mama G. Needed you out in Miami. Yeah, I gotta stay in, you know.
But I'm gonna get you out there for later this month, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll see. I'm gonna get out there. I need to stay.
Well, you travel with everyone but me now.
No, I literally just go snowboarding. That's it.
I know. Well,
Peaceful
we'll talk about that.
snowboarding, no partying. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm giving you 2+ weeks notice.
I know. But sometimes you gotta, for the greater good, of not to be a degenerate. But all right, let's get into the news, Jake, because this is absolutely insane. Now, obviously, the internet's newest anti-hero. Let me say that, anti-hero. He's a hero to some people, but of course, to the mainstream media, he is a villain. Now, you don't go out and murder somebody. That's absolutely insane. But I think a lot of people have some positive feelings towards Luigi Mangione, who was the obviously killer of the, alleged, but it seems like it's actually him, right? Of the United Healthcare CEO. It's been interesting to see this story all over mainstream media and just read the comments, because you really get an idea of how this class war is kind of setting off. Because look, I'd never personally had to deal only on one instance with any sort of medical problems. And I remember when I was 19, I went in for some, to the emergency room before I had health insurance. And I remember at one point they garnished my wages because I couldn't pay my medical bill on time. So I was getting money taken out of my check when I was around 19, 20. And at the time I needed the money to pay a rent. And so they just took it straight out of my check. And
really?
I know, yeah.
They can do that?
Yeah. Shout out to Kaiser.
Wait, so they can just take it out of your paycheck?
Yeah.
Damn, I had no idea that happens.
Yeah, that happened to me when I was 19 or 20, 21, some of those years, but I went into Kaiser for an emergency. And look, I've never had to deal with massive bills, but I know some people have. Even these premium insurances and premium plans where you go into the hospital, a lot of people start to pay tens of thousands of dollars. And it seems like the healthcare industry really is for profit, right? So this was Luigi Mangione being brought back to, I believe, to a courthouse in Pennsylvania.
There in Pennsylvania, in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, taken in custody in Altoona. Let's just listen in here to this. All right, that was just Luigi Mangione as the strong person of interest in this case.
So they say strong person of interest, but it's probably for sure him. So we'll do a quick story for Fox News to actually go to, like, a little bit in his past, a little bit, exactly who this kid is and how, as a kid who literally had everything from the beginning, how did he turn, you could say, to the dark side? Now, I've seen a lot of slander on mainstream media saying he's 26 years old, so that's the time he got taken off his parents' health care. This guy's family is loaded. He could pay for anything. And we'll talk about his issues here in a second, but check this out.
Parents started a few country clubs. They also own some healthcare facilities and real estate companies. And according to friends in Hawaii, he wanted to distance himself from this wealthy life. His family on social media said that they were shocked. They were devastated. Now, then his school, he went to the Gilman School, which is in Baltimore. Now, that is a very prominent school. It's all boys. He was there from 6th grade until graduation. He graduated in 2016. It costs about $40,000 a year to send your children there. And many senators, many governors graduated from the Gilman School. His friends called him likable, athletic, studious, on the quiet side, had an interest in technology and robotics, and he was the valedictorian of his high school. And we're going to show you a clip of that.
Now, I'll show you the clip. I don't want to get into too much to their video. But yeah, he was a valedictorian at his high school. Here's him walking up.
Well set. Congratulations. Thank you.
Wow.
So he's actually giving the speech right now, but that was interesting, right? Let's continue with this a little bit, then we'll get into the rest of it.
Valedictorian speech in just a second. He thanked his parents and he thanked his faculty. Then he goes on to have an Ivy League education. Goes to UPenn with a bachelor's and a master's degree, graduated 4 years ago in 2020 with a computer science degree, and he minored in mathematics. He was a member of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. Then he goes to Hawaii. That was his last place of residence, and people that he lived with in the surf break co-living community said he was in chronic back pain constantly. He's been estranged from some of those friends. Apparently he left like 2 years ago. That was the last time he had that address, but then he went back. I'm reading in some of the reports, started a book club. Many people left that book club because they didn't agree with some of the book choices. The NYPD is saying his writings expressed anger at corporate America. There's a 3-page manifesto where he was complaining about the healthcare industry. He said, these parasites had it coming. I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done. So he's an anti-capitalist. He had some leanings on his Facebook page or some of his social media that leads us to believe that.
So that's interesting, right? Anti-capitalist, so these are that's kind of crazy right there from someone who comes from a family with money and stuff like that. But we'll get into why he probably felt like that here soon. So these are the charges. 2nd-degree murder, probably going to be 1st degree because this is obviously planned. possession of a loaded firearm, two counts. So it's actually a 3D printed gun and silencer, they believe. So obviously no trace. That was why in the video he had a hard time. I guess it wouldn't cycle. So he had to like manually, pretty much, cock it and those sorts of things. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
But possession of forged instruments. He was actually caught with the same fake ID he used to check into the hostel. And remember, when he was at the hostel, that's where he lowered his mask to smile and flirt with the lady. So that's where they got that good picture of him, right? Criminal possession of a weapon, obviously 1 count. So that was interesting, right? Now, they found his X account, and yesterday it had like not that many followers. Today,
You're following him.
Yeah, I'm following him. Yeah, hell yeah, following him. 300. Look, I'm not saying I agree with what he does, but it's just interesting. It's interesting because I know so many people. Should you go out and hurt people? No, but he's bringing a real problem into the limelight.
Wait, was that his cover photo the entire time?
Yeah, it's his back.
No way. So what's the photo on the left? Do we know?
That's a Pokemon. Yeah, it's a Pokemon. Of course it is. It's a Pokemon that actually heals poison, which is funny. I don't know.
No way. No, I mean, he's sending a message with that.
Yeah, this is his 3 screws in his back. And first of all, this motherfucker's a Chad, bro. I've seen so many people in, like, you could say gay TikTok or like gay X who are just pretty gay for him. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, release him and stuff like that. But those are the screws in his back. I guess he had a big back injury.
Wow.
And you can just read the comments, people sympathizing with him and those sorts of things, which you can make your own decision on what you want to do. Now, this account was taken down, then reinstated, which is interesting, right?
I think it was taken down, and then Elon Musk looked at it, and like Elon Musk follows the rules of the law. Like people go to jail. I mean, of course, what he did, if convicted, is terrible, but nothing that he did in regards to Twitter violated the terms of service. So I think Elon reinstated it.
Except murdering somebody, but he didn't post anything. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. But I mean, he hasn't been convicted yet, So I agree with Elon to leave it up. And it gives you a look into his mind and maybe why he did some of these things.
Yeah, some people he's following. Sam Altman's a big one. Robert Kennedy. He follows Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, Patrick Bet-David. Not saying there's any association with him. Joe Rogan, but you could tell like in the mindset of the people he followed. A lot of political people and those sorts of things, Tesla and stuff like that. So very interesting. So maybe Elon's like, yeah, he follows Tesla. We'll leave him alone. So
yeah, we'll leave him on. But dude, this is a wild story.
Yeah.
Go ahead and keep going through it, and we'll give our thoughts after.
So he was actually apprehended in Altoona McDonald's in Pennsylvania, about 200-something miles away from the scene. And a McDonald's employee turned him in because he looked like the guy. Now, that McDonald's is getting all kinds of crazy reviews on Yelp. Yelp had to shut it down because, but pretty much the gist of all the reviews is full of rats, untrustworthy staff, nobody stays in their lane. One reviewer said on Facebook, McDiarrhea of the mouth here. Would not recommend unsafe food served by unsafe people. Curious what insurance plan employees get working here. One user of people wrote, this McDonald's location is dealing with a serious rat problem. They have rats working on the register.
That's kind of funny.
So yeah, so they're kind of all.
To be honest though, dude, look, I get it. He's a good-looking guy, but if he murdered someone, which it looks like he did, then the McDonald's person that turned him in should be that's a hero. They turned in a murderer on the loose. They're a hero for doing. They're not a rat. They're a hero for doing so, and they're going to get a nice payday from the FBI.
Yeah, about $50,000. I think it's. I think a lot of people don't feel sorry for what was going on with the United Healthcare person under investigation by the DOJ for insider trading of $100+ million. So dumping on people before other people had the information. And I think that, when people deal with the healthcare, like why are CEOs of these healthcare industries making billions of dollars a year? It doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah. When they're supposed to be helping people. So I could see why the normies, you could say the class wars here resonate with them. And I just think there's something interesting about this whole situation. I'm balls deep in it. You know what I mean? Because I think it's interesting and it shows like the frustrations. And it's not just me. If you go to the comment section here, I mean, everybody, we don't need the FBI. We have McDonald's. Funny how we know every single detail about this. Funny how we know every single detail about the assassination, but we don't know a single thing about Trump. So people are turning on pretty much, Fox News. Could they find out whose cocaine that was in the White House? That idiot governor always has to have his. So obviously the governor called the cop in California and was in Pennsylvania was congratulating him. You know what I mean? But the comments everywhere are people just upset, about how the government, how the DOJ, the three-letter agencies could move so fast with something like this. But it's a high-profile figure, guys. It doesn't matter if you and I are murdered or assassinated. It matters if millionaires, multimillionaires are murdered or assassinated, because those cases matter. I'm sure people are gunned down every single day all across the world.
Yeah.
No one cares. The United States, no one cares. But a high-profile figure.
And it's because of how big it was, all over the internet, massive news stories. Like, that's why they had to get this guy. But when you just look at like serial killers in the past and people who go and shoot up schools, it's like they're not from this type of family, right? They usually have some sort of mental illness. A lot of them too, no one wants to say it, but a lot of the school shooters that we've seen have been taking a lot of these prescription drugs, right? Like whether it's psychotic medicine or antidepressants, a lot of these people are on these medicines. This is a kid that's comes from a good family, a valedictorian, went to Penn, very, very intelligent, worked a good job.
Ivy League school.
And it does seem like when you look at his tweets that he had some sort of a mental break, right? It looks like that he had some sort of a mental break, comes from a rich family, obviously had a back surgery. Who knows what happened on the back end with that and the bills. And I think he was just fed up. Now, even though you're fed up, you should never go out and do what he did in cold blood and murder somebody. Like the Fox News said, he went to a school where there was a lot of senators and politicians that came out of. He could have went into work and made a change against the healthcare system. So maybe obviously there was some sort of a mental break. Anyone that cold-bloodedly kills someone and murders someone like that, they're not mentally sane. And the reason that the internet is backing him is because he's a good-looking guy. And that's it. And
that's
I think
not
a lot
why.
of people
That's
agree, not with what he did, but the reasons why he did what he did, right? Obviously, not many people agree with murdering someone, but a lot of people are probably fed up in the same position with healthcare. Like you said, I'm sure there's a lot of people who were in your situation where they're trying to make ends meet and they're getting money taken out of their pockets, their checks, without them even asking for it, because they had a surgery that cost too much money. And then on the back end, this guy's getting, the CEO is getting charged or investigated by the DOJ for dumping hundreds of millions of dollars illegally, essentially. So obviously you should never hope for anyone to get murdered. That's not good. But I think a lot of people are sympathizing. Number one, because he's a good looking guy. And that's usually what happens with criminals. I remember back in the day, there was that mugshot probably 10 years ago, that like light skinned guy. And he got like a whole career in the internet afterwards. But also because they agree with his cause, not what he did, but the reasons behind why he did it.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of chicks, like even like the Zodiac, not the Zodiac killer, but who's the other guy? The Night Stalker. People were like trying to marry him. Weird.
Ted Bundy?
No. I forgot his name. I think a Latino guy who would like, it was all over LA. I forgot his name. But yeah, it was absolutely
Ted
insane.
Bundy as well. I think that was before my time. Might have been on your time. But
Ted Bundy. Yeah, people.
Ted Bundy, they love, dude.
Yeah, Ted Bundy's older, I think, than the guy I'm talking about, the Night Stalker.
I know. OJ as well, right? OJ, like people kind of fell in love with OJ. So it's
damn.
Like, if you're a good-looking guy, it's the sad truth in America. Yeah. If you're a good-looking guy and you do something bad, like people do sympathize with you. Same thing with the Menendez brothers, right? Like America fell in love with the Menendez brothers, even though they admitted to cold blood killing their parents. But yeah, something just seemed fishy with me about this one when he got arrested. Obviously, it's looking like this is the truth and it's looking like he did it. But like the fact that he was so careful about how he did his job, right? And then he just gets found at a McDonald's with the same and gives the cops the same ID and has a manifesto in his backpack and the same murder weapon. I don't know. It just, I never believe what I hear from the internet on the first go. And something did seem fishy, but when you look at his Twitter account and all of his posts, it is starting to add up a little bit.
Yeah, and here's if you want to pull up my screen again. So Evan Kilgore made a post, said Luigi Mangione went to McDonald's with his manifesto, with his fake IDs, with his firearm, with his laptop. After everything he did to conceal his identity, something doesn't add up. He's on the move, though. I think he didn't have a place to go. He's going to have all that stuff with him. Like, he's not just going to leave it somewhere. So to me, it makes sense why he got caught with everything. Now,
you can't dump it, though? You can't dump it into a river or something like that?
I don't think he was done. I think he was going to go after more people. I don't think I don't think he was done.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
was going to say, because it's like he was so careful. It's like, why would you walk around with that shit on you? Yeah. What about the photo, too? There was one photo where, like,
he was dressed up in the same shit. He got caught in this. He was in the same shit.
What about the eyebrow?
It's him. Yeah, there's pictures of him. It's him. It looks like, because in this photo, you can see the eyebrows separate, right? So okay. I think it is him. It has to be him. I mean, he got caught with the manifesto, everything. It's for sure him.
But here's the thing with getting caught with this shit, bro. Like, it's just, There is a world where I'm sure in the past where these 3-letter agencies have planted certain things on people.
That's what I'm saying. People do not trust the government.
Right?
People do not trust the government, which is crazy. Which I don't think this is a case of that. I think this is a case of they actually got the guy. But I think that it's interesting that we don't trust the government so much that, they've concealed so much that that's our default now.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, though. I'm sure it's happened before in the past where someone's looked like someone and they need to get a win and they plant something on them. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but because of all of his tweets and messages, it does seem like they got the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is a post yesterday. Apparently he made a YouTube channel. They got a bunch of subscribers that had this. Now, someone said it could be a LARP. Someone said, it could be legit. Great point, Awesome. It's crazy how we know more about this guy than the guy. Yeah, we don't know shit about that guy. The guy had like no social media presence. He had a little bit, but not a lot, apparently. But check this out. This was supposedly a YouTube video posted saying Luigi released a weirdly cryptic message. Can I zoom into this? It talked about like pretty much a countdown and how we're going to know the truth soon and those sorts of things. Let me see if I can find an actual better post. Now, here it is. It says like the truth. Oh, jeez, fuck. I got trolled. But pretty much he says, if you see this, I'm already under arrest.
How do you do this? How do you post it? How do you schedule it?
You can schedule videos.
I know, but how did he know he was going to be arrested when he scheduled it?
I think I don't know. He was dressed in the same shit. He had everything on him. Maybe he wanted to get caught. But YouTube, so we don't know if this is a LARP or not. We don't know. But I've been hearing on mainstream media that it may be a legit YouTube channel, but YouTube took it down. So we're not going to get any videos that were supposed to come out. And his profile picture was changed to him with holding a Happy Meal, which is fucking weird, right? He got caught at McDonald's, which is like, you know what I mean?
Wait, they changed his profile picture?
On the YouTube channel, his profile picture had him holding a thing at McDonald's, which is
this just gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah,
like he knew he was going to get caught at McDonald's if he went in.
It's interesting, right? It's very interesting.
Weird.
So we'll see. So this is the manifesto. I'm not going to read it, but it's very interesting. It just talks about how, there's a lot, right? The illusion of care. He talks about a system designed to fail. It says, we have long been told to trust the medical establishment, to believe that doctors and nurses with the stethoscopes and white coats stand as paragons of virtue. Indeed, many individual practitioners do sincerely devote their lives to healing the sick. He just talks about how it's not all about that. Obviously, had chronic back injury. If you've had any back injuries, I've had, hurt my back from deadlifting. It's debilitating, right? Back injuries suck. And that's pretty much. And then obviously he had a bunch of books that he had left reviews on and quoted and stuff like that. And he talks about this: when all other forms of communications fail, violence is necessary to survive. Why should we have any qualms about burning them down to survive? Violence never solved anything, in a statement uttered by cowards of the predators and those sorts of things. So, so that's pretty much the entire story on it. What we know so far. He's an anti-hero online, but obviously you can't go out and murder people cold blood. But I think this kind of brings a bigger issue to surface, to light, which is probably the healthcare industry is probably very predatory. It's impossible for people who have chronic illnesses to,
Yeah, healthcare and also like the prescription drug industry. It's just all for profit. It's not for healing. And that's why even my neighbor, she's a doctor and she's an emergency room doctor, and she's leaving that to start her own practice that's like more holistic, because she's like, this shit, like it's not fixing, right? It's not preemptively solving it and saying, hey, get healthy, exercise, eat healthy. It's like, hey, get sick because we have McDonald's, we have all this food everywhere. And then we're going to give you cures, which are cures that we're going to get you addicted to pills and more stuff and more medicine. And it just keeps people in the loop. So there is a huge problem with the healthcare industry. And that's why Robert F. Kennedy is trying to make America healthy again. But thanks for that story. I'm fascinated by it. It's very, very interesting. One thing I have a question on is like, why are they showing so much of Luigi, right? Usually when there's school shooters and whatnot, they keep him hidden. For this kid, they're showing him all over. Everyone knows his name, his whole story. It's a little bit different than what we've seen from shooters and murderers in the past.
Yeah, well, they do show a lot of the school shooters, and they shouldn't, because it makes them infamous. And if the reason why I think a lot of these, especially school shooters in particular, do these sorts of things is like a one-up each other, because they know, and a lot of these guys are losers, loners, never had anything going for them. And that's like their kind of claim to fame. That's the way they're going to go out and be remembered as, and people will always worship these kind of people. It's sick, right? So that's how they go out. Now, the mainstream media is just like any other, content creator. It's about the bottom line, which is clicks, views, and those sorts of things. And they're all getting massive amounts of views on every channel, mainstream media that's reporting this. And that's what it's about. So they're going to make this guy famous indirectly, because it's a great story and they need ratings to go, especially now with the mainstream media. They're hurting for ratings. This is a perfect opportunity for them to get their ratings back up.
Absolutely. Well, they got Trump coming back in, so they're going to have a lot to talk about here today. So good story there. And we'll end it with this. Edgar said, I've had neck and back surgery and I have arthritis in my whole spine. I know about back pain. I live with it every day. I've heard my back is thankfully healthy, but even our buddy Mike's 30, just turned 30, and he has back pain that's so bad where it's like he can't work out. He can't do shit. So this kid had surgery and his back was probably fucked, probably couldn't get any better. And I think he probably just wanted to make a statement, and a statement he did make.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy situation, but I'm into this. I love like true crime and stuff like that. So this is it's just weird living at a big point of history, like where this is like a big true crime situation.
Very, very wild. We'll be covering it on this channel even more. Let's get into some crypto news. So we went through some of the cryptocurrency markets dipping. Meme coins are taking a dip. We've talked about some of the memes that we want to possibly add into our portfolio, some of the altcoins that we'd consider buying today. Anything else major happening in the cryptocurrency markets? Yeah,
absolutely. Check this out. So this story right here talks about, here's why the crypto markets lost $1.6 billion in hours. Over leverage, right? A lot of people got liquidated. A lot of degenerates betting on the market to probably pump got absolutely riggedy wrecked. You know what I mean? Which is insane. So we'll read a little bit of this. So the broader digital currency ecosystem was stunned on December 9th when the market shed almost $2 billion in combined liquidations, crypto liquidations. It says, to help the market understand what happened, crypto analysis Ash Crypto on X detailed the events that have triggered the biggest fall off since 2021, right? So Coinbase traders started the sell-off. Coinbase traders began selling 1 hour before the major dump. The sell pressure pushed the liquidations to a domino, right? Liquidation cascade triggered the biggest drop. So once the market hit a key liquidation zone, it was game over. Over-leveraged positions started to close. Stop losses were triggered, creating a chain reaction. The market was overheated. We were in extreme greed for a while, Jake, and we talked about this, how we figured that we're going to have some sort of retracement. We thought sooner than we're having right now. We thought, as soon as Bitcoin hit about 99, I'm like, dude, we're going back down to 70K for sure, right? Funding fees were spiking, a sign of excessive longs. Open interest was rising rapidly, too many traders piling in. Then something interesting happened. Strong buying pressure emerged on ETH. Interesting. ETH doesn't experience much drawdown compared to Bitcoin. The volume is there too. Unusual sell-off in XRP. The XRP low liquidity made the move worse. XRP may have a large market cap, but its liquidity is still thin. This is why XRP can surge hundreds of percentage or crash out of nowhere. Massive volume in ADA, USDC, and FDUSD. When the dump started, these three saw insane volume. So obviously people are going to start stabling out, right? After a liquidation like this, here's what usually happens. Liquidations wipe out the weak hands. Smart money buys the dip at a discount. The price snaps back quickly. The dump clears out weak positions and the strong hands step in. So things we've been talking about. There's a lot of smart money in crypto, Jake, that it's like, oh my God, thank God. Let me eat up these dips.
Yeah, I think that you said it best, but we were expecting this. And look, you have to zoom out sometimes in the crypto space. We're still sitting, when we looked earlier today, at $95,000 Bitcoin. It was 35 days ago on November 5th that we were below a $64,000 Bitcoin. We ran all the way up to 103,000. I was saying it when we hit, I think it was like 85,000. I'm like, okay, it would make sense if we pulled back to around 78K. But because we have a pro-crypto president, because he's appointing people to the SEC chair, because he's naming crypto czars, we just kept on pumping. Even though December is historically a terrible month for cryptocurrency, we kept running to all-time highs. Pullbacks have always been expected. You should not expect crypto to go straight up forever. We go up, we go down, we go up, we go down, we go higher, we go lower. And that is how you reach all-time highs. So smart money is holding, just like we've been holding since 2022, just like we've been holding since 2017, some of us holding since 2013. You understand how these bull markets work. It's not a straight line to the top. you will get better buying opportunities, which is why I always say dollar cost average into your higher conviction plays when the markets dip. And if you need to take profits, you take it when tokens that we've seen get listed on Coinbase and they pump 400%. When Pepe runs up to an all-time high over an $11 billion market cap, that's when you take some small profits, even with altcoins too. If you got an XRP around 35 cents and it runs up to 250, it's a decent time to take profits. Now, I actually got an XRP around 35 cents. It ran up to 275 or something like that. I didn't take any profits because I think it's going to go higher. But those are the moments that you take profits. So when you don't feel like selling, when you think it's going to go forever, that is actually when you sell. When you don't feel like buying because there's fear in the markets, that's actually when you have to force yourself how to buy. It's reverse psychology, but that's how you win the crypto space.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when there's blood in the streets, you get greedy, right? That's the whole, that's what everybody says. And I thought this was an interesting, I made a post earlier today. If you want to pull up my screen here, I mean, when in doubt, zoom out. And this is the month chart on most major altcoins. We're still up pretty big on the month. Now, I don't know if this market's going to dump, if it's going to get crazier, which it probably will. You'll see a lot of these percentages go down. But in the grand scheme of things, we're still massively up, and you should be still excited to be in crypto, which, like this post said, it's going to shake out the paper hands, right? Now, this was an interesting post from Bitwise Invest. It predicts Bitcoin will hit 200K, Ethereum 7K, and Solana $750 in 2025. Jake, what do you think about these numbers? Do you think it's FUD? Do you think it's just? What do you think?
I think it's too low. Personally,
I think so too.
I think it's an accurate price prediction. I think it's I think it's a pretty conservative, and I think it's pretty spot on. But I just believe that because of what we saw in November to December to today, I think that these will all get surpassed. I wouldn't be surprised with Donald Trump in office for the next 4 years if he creates a Bitcoin strategic reserve. That's going to cause a catalyst that we've never seen in the crypto space because so many other countries are going to be buying Bitcoin and having Bitcoin strategic reserves. I mean, that's a 2x from ETH today, right? $7,000. I think that ETH could reach above 8,500. And Solana, I think it's pretty accurate, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Solana in that $800 to $1,000 range. Permable, extremely bullish. But I've been saying it since $20 that Solana to 750 just makes sense. And you'll find out that a lot of these people are just basing this off of the 2021 all-time high and kind of multiplying it by 3, right? Solana hit around 250, Bitcoin hit around 69K. But ETH, whoever made this article, not necessarily as bullish on ETH. And that might be because we're seeing more layer one blockchains pop up than we saw in 2021, which are going to take some of that market share.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the narrative for the ETH killer is going to be a narrative we're going to see, especially with Solana. That was a huge narrative last cycle. Shout out to Jakey in the chat. What's up, legend? How you doing? Appreciate the love. And like we always say, Jake, the United States is the trendsetter. And what you just talked about, a strategic Bitcoin reserve that could theoretically get us out of debt. Who knows? I don't know. $35 trillion is a debt to wipe out. But a legislator of the Duma proposes to create a strategic reserve in Bitcoin in Russia. Monkey see, monkey do. I'm telling you, United States, this is probably the best. This is the best option, right? Because now we have a pro-crypto president who wants to become the dominant powerhouse in the cryptocurrency space. Because, we've always thought, Jake, that you can't become the best at something if you're trying to actively destroy it with regulatory bodies like the SEC. We need a government that's going to try to understand crypto, get smart people that have been operating in the United States, like Brian Armstrong, like Charles Hoskinson, like these great minds, bright minds in some sort of pro-crypto coalition so we can become the dominant power.
Absolutely. And shout out to our guy, Sol Jakey. Got to link up with him in Miami as well. Yeah. Like David Sachs, like Paul Atkins, who are actually going to be spearheading this cryptocurrency space. But like you said, just imagine when Donald Trump starts buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin, which he will do. Donald Trump will buy billions of dollars of Bitcoin for a national Bitcoin strategic reserve in America. What is Russia going to do? What is China going to do? What is El Salvador going to do, which they've already done? What are smart countries going to do? There's a small country near Bali, near Indonesia, somewhere in Asia that has like $1 billion of Bitcoin that they've been buying forever. What is Canada going to do? Probably not Canada. Justin Trudeau's, he's not going to be buying any Bitcoin anytime soon. Although Justin Trudeau, who a lot of people call spineless, is standing up to Trump. Did you see what he said about the tariffs and Trump imposing 25% tariffs on Canada?
No, what did he say?
Pull it up, Jamie.
Pull it up, Jamie.
He pretty much said, if Trump hits us with tariffs, well, then we're going to tax whiskey and ketchup and one other thing. I guess
not
stuff
ketchup
that they import out to us. So he's like, hey, if it was whiskey, ketchup, and maybe
maple
like
syrup
or something else that Americans use, something else that we're known for. whiskey, ketchup, and something else. But he said, hey, if they tax us 25%, we're going to do what we did last 4 years when Trump was president, and we're going to impose a tariff on what Americans love most. So I actually like that. Good for Justin Trudeau. Because the Mexican president, she's like, okay, 25% tariff, no problem. We're closing the border. We're getting rid of fentanyl, no problem. And I actually like that Trudeau's standing up to Trump, even though I'm American. And I hope that Trump makes Canada the 51st state of the United States. How funny is that? I'm so happy Trump's back. We got some comedy. If you didn't see it, Donald Trump said, hey, we're sanctioning all these countries. We're paying all these countries. We might as well just make them part of the United States. And he actually posted a photo of him, like a meme, an AI generated meme of him in Canada with the American flag or the Canada flag, which I thought was funny. But good for Trudeau snapping back. We're going to pull that article here for just a second, saying that they're going to impose tariffs on the United States for whiskey, ketchup, and one other thing.
Yeah, so it was interesting that obviously, Trudeau and Trump had that meeting, and Trump was pretty much saying that he would impose tariffs. Oh, excuse me, he would annex Canada and make him the governor of the 51st state, which I thought was hilarious. Now check this out. So shout out to Coach. He actually sent this to me. So Trudeau, Canada will respond if Trump imposes tariffs, and we feel like the rest of the world, would probably respond the same way. But the thing is, like, when you're the world superpower, maybe they need us more than they need them. You know what I mean? So that's very interesting. So check this out. So he says, quote, let's not kid ourselves in any way, shape, or form. 25% tariffs on everything going to the United States would be devastating for the Canadian economy, said Trudeau on Monday, speaking to the Halifax Chamber of Commerce. But he said that the tariffs would also raise costs on a wide range of goods the U.S. gets from Canada. Canada will, quote, respond to unfair tariffs in a number of ways, and we're still looking at the right ways to respond, but our response to the unfair steel and aluminum tariffs were what ended up lifting those tariffs last time. Shortly after Trump announced the tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum in the spring of 2018, Canada rolled out retaliatory tariffs on targeted politically sensitive items such as bourbon, Harley Davidsons, and playing cards, and Heinz ketchup.
So American.
I mean, steel is probably more important than Heinz ketchup. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, but yeah, so obviously Canada fighting back, America's little top hat.
I like that. Yeah. I like that for Canada. If I'm a Canadian citizen, I am saying good job.
Finally.
Thank goodness. I'm starting to see a lot of the governments like flip back to some sort of normalcy. Like, what the hell was going on the past 4 years? Even New York is cleaning up the subways, getting rid of the drugs, not funding all the illegals with credit cards and debit cards. Like, we're starting to see a major shift happen. And a lot of it's because Donald Trump is in office. Now, do we think that Hamas will release all of the captives? Donald Trump gave them a stern warning, Rodney. He said,
they better.
If they are not released by January 20th, when I assume the great office of the United States president again, there will be all hell to pay for everyone involved, and the U.S. will strike larger and harder than we have ever striked before. Do you think we are 1 month and 10 days away? Do you think that every single hostage, or at least the American hostages, will be released from Gaza?
Let me tell you something. The United States Special Forces, no joke. They get SEAL team motherfucking, I don't know, whatever number in there, Delta Force, whatever. They'll be kicking down them doors, taking some necks. So yeah, I do. Donald Trump is going to follow through on his word, and they will definitely send some of the best Americans out there to get those hostages back. So if you're hearing those warnings, you got to heed them, because Donald Trump definitely ain't playing. So you got some hostages. I'd be looking over your shoulder right now because they're coming for you.
How do you actually feel? Let me know how, I'm actually curious, just a vibe check. And this is for the audience as well. How do you actually feel since he's won? Do you feel like there's kind of a shift in America? Do you feel like we're returning to some sort of normalcy? Do you feel like you personally, are you more excited to be an American, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency and what's going on? Like, what's your vibe check 1 month after Donald Trump has won the presidency?
Yeah, it's interesting, Jake, because, like I said, when the election went, the way it went, it felt like the air was a little crisper. The flowers were a little more vibrant. The grass was greener. It just seemed like all that SJW shit, Elon Musk, taking, Twitter over, making it the social media platform it is now, where you were the media. It just felt a little better. Who knows how things are going to look, because what Trump is trying to do is a radical change. And when things change radically, they can either work out, maybe they don't work out. It's going to be interesting. But a lot of people want the change, and that's why he kind of won in a pretty massive victory.
I feel a major shift. And I even went to New York City, which is a very, very liberal place. I mean, there was a lot of crime. I used to go to New York City in the past, and You didn't want to wear a watch outside. You were kind of unsafe. I was walking the streets of New York at 3 a.m. after the UFC fight. We walked home, felt safe. There was cops in every corner. Like it just, and even like Donald Trump walked into Madison Square Garden in New York City, which is a very liberal place. He got, dude, I've never heard a pop like that in my life for anyone. It was a 5-minute standing ovation where they were applauding him. So I do feel a shift, especially, I mean, obviously when it comes to cryptocurrency, obviously the prices are going up. People are more willing to buy it. I mean, Coinbase is listing more meme coins. That's a perfect judgment of how the people who are involved in crypto are feeling about Donald Trump winning. And I do think, I mean, the biggest test for him will be the illegals. Like, what's he going to do on day one? Pardoning the J6ers, pardoning Ross Ulbricht. I have a feeling he's going to do both of those on day one. I really do. And the wars that are going on, you know, because he was the guy saying, hey, we will stop the wars between Israel and Gaza. And I mean, just whatever's going on in the Middle East. And then also Russia and Ukraine. Now, Rodney, there was a banquet in Washington, D.C. last night. Joe Biden made an appearance. Kamala Harris was there. Did you see that he did not even say hello to Kamala Harris? We can go ahead and play this.
Go ahead.
Doesn't even look at her.
I mean, he's in the metaverse right now.
Watch this peace sign. Yo. Doesn't even look at her or her husband. Doesn't say hello.
Well, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. You know, maybe they had a little chat. But to be honest, like, remember, they didn't come out right away and put Kamala Harris there. That no one was really happy about that option. And I think that the Bidens, even though Biden's obviously losing his mind, probably felt some sort of way about getting taken out, you know, and put her there.
Everyone does. I imagine, just anyone in this chat, imagine if that's you. You've worked your whole life in politics. You became the president of the United States. You were ready to run again. You thought you could run again. Your family thought you could run again. And it was essentially a coup. It was 100% a coup. Apparently, what we're hearing behind the scenes from reputable sources said that he was forced out from people like Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and all the brass of the Democratic Party. And if not, they said that they were going to, is it the 56th Amendment? They were going to get him out because he wasn't all there, which his mental facilities weren't there, which they probably are not there. So they forced him out. I mean, dude, do you remember when he put on the Make America Great Again hat? Like, that's not done out of fucking luck. Like, that's done on purpose. And then when Donald Trump came to the White House to meet him after he won the presidency, I've never seen Joe Biden smile that big in my entire life. He was so happy. And then now he sees Kamala in the past. I mean, maybe we can look at some past videos of them seeing each other, but doesn't even look at her or her husband, the first man of the United States, which I don't know if we should be happy about that title, being the first man. You should be the president, my brother, or the vice president. But anyways, does Joe Biden hate Kamala Harris?
Yeah, first man, first lady, right? First daddy. Yeah, I think obviously his cognitive decline is apparent. Shout out to Peace right there. Good sentence there. Yeah, either he's fucking like, you ever see, what was that movie called Shutter Island at the end where everybody thinks like Leonardo DiCaprio is crazy, but he's really not, you know?
Never seen it.
You ever see Shutter Island?
Is it a banger?
Bro.
Let's watch it tonight.
Okay, let's watch it. Yeah, dude, bro. Banger, bro. It's a long movie, but it's so good. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, but let's see some of the comments there. How about this? How about we just banish Spooky Doo to the Shadow Realm? How about that? Eat a dick, Spooky Doo. Anywho, you know, sometimes I got time. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. You know, it all depends, right? It'll who knows if he's like actually losing his mind. But putting on the Make America Great Again hat was absolutely insane. Real quick, though, I do want to cover this, Jake, because this is your boy, Naib. If you want to go ahead and pull up the my screen. So he shared his crypto portfolio the other day. A lot of money, obviously, massive gains. Shout out to Naib for investing in Bitcoin. But check this out. So El Salvador could be sitting on a gold mine worth $3 trillion in unmined gold. So that was a big story that broke. That's kind of crazy. You think they sell it all to buy Bitcoin?
I think they have to mine it first. But no, I don't think you sell it all, but I think it's just good to be sitting on that. Did you see his quote tweet that he had?
I did not. What was that?
Pull this up. Chad. The guy's a Chad. He's a shit poster too, in a sense. Very, very intelligent. Breaking: El Salvador has discovered $3 trillion in unmined gold. And Naib says, but what could they possibly do with that? with the I don't know emoji and readers out of context. I love community notes. Bukele speculated that it could have 3 billion, but to date there is no scientific study on deposits that support this statement, and neither have they presented by him. The only one made by government just shows a few amounts. Do you find this helpful? No. Stop flooding El Salvador's bags. How about community notes though? Just absolutely crushing it on all platforms. But
It's so good.
I think it's fine to have digital gold and also real gold. I don't think that he would probably sell it all, but I mean, he has. You know how much $3 trillion is? How much is El Salvador worth?
That's a lot. You know what's interesting? I remember that the Gemini, the brothers, were talking about trying to get Dave Portnoy into crypto. And one of the reasons they said, Bitcoin over gold was the fact that they said that in space, we could shoot down like some sort of meteor that has a bunch of, precious metals that could probably, kind of raise or lower the price of gold because it wouldn't become, precious anymore. And that's when he sold all his Bitcoin. But he said he made a mistake because, at that time, Bitcoin is pretty cheap and he would have been up significantly. So I thought that was an interesting story.
Absolutely. You see what happened with Nancy Mace?
I have not.
She is the governor, Congress lady. There was a video of her, let's see if we can find it. How do we find it? It's been banished off Twitter. We can't find it. I saw it yesterday. She was with 4 or 5 people, maybe 4 people, and she poured alcohol into her mouth, and then they passed it around by blowing it into each other's mouth.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, what the? I don't know what that is. People are weird.
Click on. I think Daily Mail is copyrighted the video where you can only watch it by going to their website.
You find on X. Just type in the name on X. Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's only dailymail.uk.
Ozem said that Dave Portnoy lost about 20 million by crashing out his Bitcoin nuts. That's crazy, Austin.
Yeah, that's why he had the nickname Lettuce Hands, and then he promoted Safe Moon and got wrecked. Yeah. And he's probably I'm fucking over this crypto thing. But Dave Portnoy is very, very wealthy. He sold his company for $100 million. He then sold another company, I think the same company, for $400 million. And then he bought it back for a penny, which I don't know what the fuck happened there. Was that just marketing? Yeah. They just wanted him to still run it?
I think so. Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
So he's doing fine. He's doing fine. His pizza reviews are blowing up. One popped up on my algorithm the other day. I couldn't sleep. I'm still in Vegas time, so it was 1 a.m. and I was watching Dave Portnoy just bitch at that guy, the pizza guy. Did you see that one?
Yeah. The guy. Well, the
guy came out. You're a clown. And Dave Portnoy's tell me one thing I've done wrong. One thing.
Yeah.
Gave away $50 million to small business. He just shit on him. I thought it was hilarious, but
I think.
Yeah. He had Michael Saylor on his podcast yesterday. Did you see any of the clips?
I have not. No, I've just seen the Michael Saylor clips on Fox Business.
I didn't watch it either. I don't have enough time in the day to watch this shit.
I do.
But let's see. You know
what
I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube all day, literally.
All right, let's just watch this. Let's see what Dave Portnoy has wrong about Bitcoin. We'll do a quick clip, and then we will wrap it up here.
The Winklevosses telling me Elon Musk is going to outer space and raining gold down. Confused me. I sold it. You just buy 400-something thousand Bitcoins with your company and you. So if I want to know what I got wrong about Bitcoin, or explain it so I understand it finally.
Yeah, I think let's talk about it in sports metaphors. First of all, there's some games that you can't play, you got to watch. And if you're just watching the game and the team wins, that means your season tickets are going to get more expensive next year. But there are other games you can play. You go into a casino and you play the game, but the game's rigged against you. There are some games where the house wins, you're not winning. And Satoshi created a game that's rigged in favor of the individual.
Is he a real person?
Satoshi is a real person.
Do you know who he is?
Gone but not forgotten.
Do you aware? Do you know who that person is?
We're all Satoshi. We're all Satoshi now, Dave.
Okay.
Right? The most important thing to know is that, Prometheus gave us fire to warm you up, Satoshi gave us a game we can all win, right? And Bitcoin is that game. It's, there are certain things where, you don't want to be on a network where they can censor what you say and they can freeze your account. Bitcoin is a monetary network where it won't censor where you send your money. It won't freeze your account. And it's engineered in such a way that on the margin, you're winning the game over time. So think of it wouldn't it be great if you had a basketball team, you had LeBron James, you had Michael Jordan, and you had the digital version of them, and they played forever, and you could get on the court and play with them. and they're scoring 100 points and you're scoring 2 points, but you're all getting rich together and you're all winning together. That's what Bitcoin is like. It's like everybody gets to play. Everywhere in the world I go, there's like a fan club. There's hundreds of millions of people that are on Team Bitcoin. You should join Team Bitcoin. The 100 million fans would be rooting for you. And the great thing about it is you don't just win the game, you get wealthy while you're winning the game.
Cool analogy there from Michael Saylor. And just kind of putting into layman's terms for Dave Portnoy and his audience, because obviously when the Winklevoss brothers went to his house 4 or 5 years ago, they said that Elon Musk was going to mine all of the gold in the world and buy Bitcoin with it. Definitely didn't make sense to him. I think he bought like 2 million at the time and then sold it. But yeah, I mean, just Michael Saylor doing what he's doing by buying it, by going on all these podcasts is just going to be proved to be very, very great for cryptocurrency. Even though I think we talked about it yesterday, his price predictions, which were what, 13 million, and like to dominate so much of like the financial sector. Who knows if they come true, but you got to shoot for the stars if you want to get to the moon.
Yeah, everybody loves Michael Saylor because he's a permeable. I think he predicted the crypto market cap to be like 100 and something 80 trillion or 30 trillion, like that, some crazy number. But hey, man, he's been right so far, you know. And to be honest, Dave Portnoy probably looked like a genius when Gemini's other Earn went down a little bit and had some issues, you know. But obviously, in the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin's winning. So,
absolutely. Well, Ronnie, that is a show. Over 8,000 people have tuned in today.
Fantastic
Everybody that tuned in. And good news, we do have a giveaway going live tomorrow. We'll get that tweet out in just a bit. So we will be giving away $1,000 of a new token that launched on the base chain tomorrow. And more giveaways coming this week. We appreciate all of you guys that tuned in. Have a good day. Crypto markets are crashing. You know what we're doing. We're buying the dip. Peace out, everybody. We will see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.